medium to far term, and we should pay attention to the short term.
The other company taking the spotlight at the AI Expo was Palantir.
For example, a global supply chain can model each shipment as an object.
A private spying firm founded by Peter Thiel and Alex Karp in 2004, thanks to a grant from the CIA's venture capital arm, InQtel. During a shareholder meeting earlier this year, Palantir CEO Alex Karp bragged about the blood his high-tech killing products had shed around the world.
Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them.
Palantir has also invested heavily in Israel's genocidal assault on the Gaza Strip, where its programs have assisted Israel's AI targeting in the face of public protest. Karp has proudly acknowledged his company's role in the Gaza bloodbath.
Your AI and your technology from Palantir help Palestinians!
Mostly terrorists, that's true.
No, it's not everybody. If you say mostly, so it's okay and don't
Okay.
By the time the AI Expo began, Palantir's stock was surging to record heights, thanks to a disturbing New York Times report revealing that the Trump administration had granted the company a massive contract to integrate the private data of American citizens across a wide array of federal government departments, from the IRS to the Departments of Health and Human Services to Homeland Security to the Social Security Administration, through a program called Gotham. Last May, the Pentagon awarded Palantir a massive $795 million contract, which will likely expand its use of the global targeting and killing system known as Maven. At the AI Expo, Vice Admiral Frank Whitworth of the U.S. National Geospatial Agency touted the expansion of Palantir's Maven within America's global war machine. He was joined on stage by Sasha Ingber, a former NPR reporter and State Department operative who's now a de facto publicist for the U.S. military intelligence apparatus.
They use Maven in Iraq and Syria to target Houthis in Yemen, vessels in the Red Sea, Ukraine to target Russian equipment. Can you share some of the lessons that you learned here? And feel free to tell us if Ukraine's unprecedented drone attack on Sunday was driven by AI.
Yeah, on that last piece, I have no idea. That's something I have to ask the Ukrainians. On every one of those other contingencies, we typically don't confirm whether Maven was involved in those particular contingencies, but I will answer this way. And I think that this demonstrates just how important and popular this particular program is right now, an allied program of record. Every combatant command, every service is using NGA Maven and by extension Maven Smart System. And the user base, just in 1 year, has quadrupled. It's approaching now 25,000. That's what I look at to determine whether we're on the right path.
Earlier in the day, the anti-war group Code Pink interrupted a discussion between the Secretary of the Navy, John Phelan, and Palantir's chief lobbyist on Capitol Hill, former Congressman Mike Gallagher. Palantir's Gallagher went straight from the AI Expo to Fox News to call for the U.S. government to designate Code Pink and other anti-war groups as domestic terrorists.
Of ideas. So these people are both incredibly uninformed, they're brainwashed, but now they've become something much more, which is a dangerous movement, a domestic terrorist movement. We must use all legal mechanisms at our disposal to prevent people from being harmed. And I think politicians on the left, on the right, everywhere in between can come together around that basic, very fundamental American fact.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there, onto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show, Lord willing. Brothers are edified through the Spirit. This is the hot topic. Seen as, I guess it's a little documentary. Came out today, I think. Palatino. And I just saw a video, Apostle Tahar had made mention of them too. I saw this earlier. And when I saw this, he put everything together, we like many detectives in the spirit, and what we come to understanding and we come to the realization is everything's in play, and the reasoning why all these things are happening around the country. Now they want to get what's that word I'm looking for? They want to get their money's worth. Yeah, that's what it is. They want to get their money's worth. When I mean they, the top brass of this U.S. Citizen, or the U.S. government, who has spent millions of dollars on this private company, to now, they've been exercising on these other countries. Now they want to go exercising on you people that's out there. All right. Every single thing that we've been saying to the Spirit of the Lord is coming to fruition, is coming to pass, is coming to truth. And Spirit had it where, once in a blue moon, I won't say once in a blue moon, but yeah, once in a blue moon. Sometimes, Spirit be having me look at something that's dealing spiritual, like spiritual power sense. And Spirit, I'm an anime head, anime fan, and the Spirit had me just go over, watch old Dragon Ball, and I'm sitting there like I'm looking at it how anime how perfect it is, and people think we're crazy because we say we're gonna get spiritual power. Well, there's a reason why we would get spiritual power, because of who's our adversary? What are they doing? What are they doing on to a level where you need powers that's out of this world in order to combat them? And we could clearly see AI is the number one adversary, but the ones that's controlling him, or think that they're controlling him, Esau Edom, has really capitalized on expertise in killing. All right, this is why they mention these other. Y'all brothers go watch the rest of this video. Certain things I can't put because you know how these people are, but they become expert in the idea of how to execute people. That's why when the guy was talking about the head of that corporation and how he was saying how much blood work or blood collecting that he has done throughout the process of all these killings, and he came to the conclusion that these individuals, like the scriptures say, are truly bloodlust. All right, they're lusting, they desire in the destruction of human beings, and this destruction of human beings that they have in mind has greater implications, like I did a couple of videos ago, on how they're going to treat the locals here in the United States of America. All right. This is why we need divine intervention. This is why we can't fight this on our own. We could never fight this on our own. Everything has been stacked against us. From the food we eat, from the air that we breathe. You could exercise, you could do whatever you think is positive to ensure your physical health. This man has weakened people. All right. Main way he weakened everybody through their spirit, deconnecting them to a higher force. So now he coming in with his left hand technique that he has gotten from the Most High to bring pain and suffering to everybody. All right. So we are entering a stage of this thing of ours. We're entering a new phase, which we've been saying through the spirit. As as been said before, as it always going to be said, we at GMS have been talking about certain things for a long period of time. And it seems far-fetched to some, like, the one body, those individuals who has no faith at all. Everything that's written in the scriptures as a miracle, they say is not true. So when these androids, these Boston Dynamic dogs, and these contraptions that Elon Musk and all these, when they come down to police your local neighborhoods, let's see how much of a miracle you're going to be wishing for at that moment, at that time. Okay? But this is all part of this man's blessing. Matter of fact, I have made mention of it. Now I could bring it out on the previous show that I done, because of the fact these this man is truly the devil that the Bible speaks of. Boom, let me get this one first. All right, Genesis 4. Yep, let me just go to the point. Genesis 4:1. It says, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain. So Adam and Eve got together and they had a son, and his name is Cain, right? When you look up the word Cain in the Hebrew, it's Kwanan. Kwayan. It says Smith, right? This is why you always gotta look at let's see. Nope. Origin word. That's why you have to look at the origin. When you read the scriptures to make things fit correctly, the Spirit got to guide you. So when you read off top, it says, matter of fact, when I said off top, it says Smith, the eldest son of Adam and Eve, the first murderer, which we know is Cain, right? But when you go into the root word or the origin word, it's right here. It says Kwanan, means spear. So at Cain, his name was what? Spear. All right. I believe also a dagger as well, but a sharp threshing is what. And what do you do with a spear? You don't put it as a coat rack. You use it to stab. And he was the first murderer in the planet Earth. What's the other guy? Now his great grandson, which I'm just gonna go straight to the point, Lamech. No, Tubal Cain. That's what I get. Azilea, she also bare Tubal Cain. And when you go to the word Tubal Cain, right? It says, let's go to the origin word. Tubal, it says to bring, lead, carry, conduct, bear along. So Tubal, which we know Kwayan is spear, to something to carry. So this is let's see what it says. Which we know that. Let's move that down. Apparently from age 29, 86, which should be, it says Yabal. Okay, Yabal, Kwanya. So it's a carrier, a weapon, a weapon of carrier. If I'm not mistaken, let me see if it's Lamech. This Lamech. Well, basically, he's supposed to be a mercenary, a man that carries weapons. So you look, fast forward it, Genesis 25th chapter, about 29th, I believe. Nah, I gotta go up. Genesis 29, 25, and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Now let's go into the Hebrew word cunning. Cunning yad, meaning knowledge, to know. So he know how to hunt down. All right, he's an expert of knowing. This is why when he conduct his hunting, he know what season to hunt the beast, you know how to attract the beast, how to settle. He's an expert at that. So what happens when he takes that knowledge that he has of that knowing, that skill that he's granted from above, when he wants to go out there and hunt higher game? The higher game is people. All right, people is the higher game. It said he was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, which a man of the world. So that's his characteristics. Now let's go to the 27th chapter. So I'm just going to the basic stuff. And it says, Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing for me, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Because why? He gave up his birthright. Now, what was the key thing about the birthright? As in the ancient world, your birthright was very sacred. Okay? Now, let's say for the majority of people, they didn't think like that. But look who his father and his grandfather was. Abraham, Isaac. So if you knew these men are men of the Lord dealt with them directly. You, the firstborn of Isaac, would you not figure out that you will be blessed as your father because he didn't believe? That's why the Lord passed him. All right, the Lord created Esau to be a non-believer. So all you people out there that's trying to fight tooth and nail for this particular people, you're fighting against what the Lord created. Okay, which is plenty of scriptures. Romans the 9th chapter, Proverbs 16 and 4 tells you that the Lord created all things, yeah, even the wicked for the day of wickedness. So anybody that tells you Ecclesiastes 1:15, that which is crooked, who shall make straight? So the Lord created this man to be crooked from the birth. All right. It says, verse 39, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, the best parts of the earth. All right, giving us a clue, and the dew of heaven from above. That right there, if we didn't believe anything we said, interpret that. What is the dew of heaven from above? Yes, and there's a program called the dew, and what is it? It's whole thing for the shoot fire from heaven. And who controls that? So the dew of heaven, what's the heaven? Heaven, space and in the air. Who controls that? Proving that this is his blessing. This is who he was from the very beginning. This is how he's able to have drones, unmanned drones, and shoot and bomb whomever, wherever that he decides. And he could be right there in Las Vegas. He could be at home as he's playing video games. If going through what we was watching, there was testing people how skilled they were with drones, how they became one with drones. This is the new form of warfare that we're seeing. And who is at the helm of the new form of warfare? It's not the Japhetic people. All right? It's not the Hamitic. It's not Moab. Is Esau. Because this next verse proves it. And by thy sword shall thy live. So the sword is verbals, but ultimately is an instrument of death. So by this particular thing, he is controlling the world. By that sword, he is living. All right. This is his blessing. We have entered Esau's true blessing. Okay. So this is why, matter of fact, let me get to this point. Ezekiel 21:9 states this. It says, son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbish. Now let's look up the Hebrew word for furbish. It's marat. Marat. It says to bear polish, make smooth or bold or bare. To make bare, to score, polish, to make bold. Let me see what it says. To application, to make bold, to blend the shoulder, also to sharpen, bright, furbish, have his hair fallen off, peeled off. Let me see if there's another furbish. Well, I'm thinking refurbish. So to make it sharpen. Now, who's the sword? Ultimately Esau, taking his skills to another level. That other level is more destructive. So now he's he could walk around guiltless. I believe it was a documentary I saw. Or was it a movie? I can't remember. And basically, they said World War, all the other wars, you know who was the enemy. The Confederate War, the Civil War, that quote unquote, you knew if they wore gray, that was the enemy. All right, navy blue, you know, that was the enemy, going back and forth. So with man, when it came World War One, World War Two, I believe it's Black Mirror. It was an episode in Black Mirror. The guy who played Kunta Kinte, let me see, and the new version of Roots, he was in it, Black Mirror. And it was just shown that the other day too. That's kind of, I mean, not the other day, at our little thing, but so what ended up happening? Oh, that's what I got the speech from. So what he said, so everybody knew who the enemy was. So World War One and World War Two, that messed people up, mainly Esau, because why? They was killing people that looked like them. So now they could have to, so after Vietnam and so forth, right? Of course, if somebody looked like another nation, is easier to kill. But the way this society, the way pussified it is, the way society acts and pussified, these people can't go out there and do the same thing. They can't be the same way it was in the past, time past. Okay? Because they gotten soft. I just can't remember. I believe it got to be the 4th season. Great. Oh, if you ever watch Black Mirror, Archangel. That goes in straight up. All this whole entire thing is basic upon science fiction, but it's also basic upon on the RFID microchip. Okay. But the best one of the best episodes is Archangel. All right. There it is, Man Against Fire. So watch this. Let me see if they get no. So the guy was basically telling the character about how they had to renew a spark. So where in this dystopian future, they caught everybody the lacking, so to speak. In other words, people volunteer without understanding what they was volunteering for because of poverty. So they will put a chip in them, and they'll see people, but they'll see them as roaches. So they'll see people as giant roaches. So that is in itself show you that they have to create a boogeyman. So now you fast forward that to the way technology is today. People killing each other as a video game. This is why they train people. All right. Soon they don't need no people even controlling that because, like me and the elder brother was talking about it, AI is gonna be able to kill on its own. So this devil has really gotten this whole thing screwed up. Oh yeah, so the episode is Man Against Fire. In the future, soldiers must protect frightened villagers from the infestation of viciousness, fearing mutants, fairly mutants. One such soldier begins to experience strange sensation during his first battle because it was the program that they had. He started to see people for seeing people, but everybody else saw them as roaches or mutants, however they want to call it. So they show you on films, they show you in all these things. So these people are sharpening the way to kill. Okay, because this is his blessing we're dealing with. That's why it says also, let me see, get this one, get the way Jeremiah, I believe Jeremiah 5:7. No. Jeremiah 5:6. It says, "Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them, Is this what happened and was going to happen? What happened to Jerusalem, which was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, for going off, period, so the Lord sent forth the Babylonians. But this is a key thing. It says, wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them. So when they fled to the forest, it was going to get killed. A wolf of the evenings shall spoil them. So it was all surrounded. But here's the key thing. It says a leopard shall watch over their cities. Now, if you know anything about animals, a leopard is known for what? The king of stealth, or the prince of stealth, Slakia. The kingship only goes to the lion. But anyway, and leopards are known for being to hide themselves in places of high. You don't know, but they watch and see everything. So you fast forward it. This is why you have cameras all over the place, because they're monitoring, they're watching everybody. They're watching, and before they jump on their prey, before they send the dogs, the wolves, all right, they studying everything. This is what AI is all about right now. So they studying patterns. They doing all these sorts of things. So when they come down, they're gonna come down with the hammer. It so happens that this Palatinier, whatever, Palantir is the largest contractor in the U.S. right now. It so happens the timing can be so much greater. So this guy went inside there. There was no other jury, nobody to question anything that they're doing. There was full throttle on a bloodlust, saying that how they perfected their sword. And then once again, they're going to take their anger, fury, intelligence, their blessing, and put it on you. And when I mean put it on you, I don't mean in a good sense. They're about to lay the hammer down. Okay, Jeremiah 50. Let's see if I can remember. 23. Yep. It says, Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the earth cut asunder? Proving that this is the hammer of the earth. That's why you have the film Iron Man, which is based on a comic book. But basically, he was a warmonger, a warlord. All right, who took his technology according to the comic book. He didn't know what was going on, so he decided to put the iron suit to protect the world from it, his own doing. But when you watch the film that came out, show you how war hungry they were. The people that was for him, they knew this is the only route. These people are the warlords. What's this? Nicolas Cage, that movie on Lord of Wars. All right, they sell. They are mercenaries. They set up the whole industry. Okay, they need war, and every war to this day are all bankers' wars. So the scripture's telling us how the hammer of the earth is going to be broke asunder. All right, broke apart. It says, and broken, how has Babylon become a desolation among nations? Proving that America is that hammer. All right. And what do you do with a hammer? Yeah, you could build with the hammer, but you destroy. And it's been destroying for a long period of time. It says, I have laid a snare for thee. What is a snare? A trap. Who have laid a snare for Babylon? I was watching something. Was it this guy? I forgot. And if the person said, America's so powerful, it was I believe it was a Colombian president, or no, El Salvador president. He said that America is so powerful that nobody can destroy from the outside. So he thinks it only can be destroyed from the inside, right? That's what he said. A foreign president said that when he said that, it made sense. as he explained the geographic region that it is in. Might I add, no wars, no real wars that's taken place in America. All right, it's never been invaded by any foreign. That's why it's called the Virgin Daughter of Babylon. So the Lord has set up this prideful mind of America. Okay, even to the point where they have to police their own citizens. They're gonna have to put their own citizens in house arrest because the bloodlust is real. What this man is enjoying when he's destroying all these other nations, he's enjoying it. He's enjoying the shit out of it. That he wants to bring it home. All right. But the Lord has set up a trap for this fool that he didn't even know that he's been set up. And ultimately, we know what that trap is. As soon as he decides to put the C hip on the majority of the people of the world, the Lord's going to have to checkmate him. Because it's an arms race for this new world order. Okay? And it says, I've laid a snare for thee, and that art also taken, O Babylon, and I was not aware. Thou art found and are also caught because thou hast strive against the Lord. The root cause. So they're not aware how much of a trap they said they are in. They think they control the narrative. Controlling the narrative is this man's forte. That's why he have to create his own bad guys. All right. They always got to create somebody to go against. And then once they create that, innocent bystanders, there's no such thing as innocent bystanders. This man lives war for how war is supposed to be, not supposed to be, because war is not supposed to last this fucking long. All right, but he operates on a level that he has to shed blood. It says the Lord have opened his armory, and what's the armory? Armory has weapons, massive weapons. So the Lord's weaponry is a plethora, just as beyond Neo in the Matrix, not Morpheus in the Matrix. It's beyond that. Everything that this man has is technology that comes from the Heavenly Father. It says, and I brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, the power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. What is that work? That work is those ICBM nuclear missiles. All right. Those missiles, that idea that ran through their mind, that ultimate weapon was a gift to the weapon carrier of the world. And the weapon carrier of the world has been drunken off of his blessing. So much so that he believes that nobody can take him down. That's why it says Joel, the third chapter, that the nations, the heathens that were weak now are strong because the technology has spread. So now America is not the only nation that has this ability to send androids and have robots and so forth. There's an arm race that's going on that we're not seeing, and we only seen clips, little glimpse of it. Now, these little glimpses that we're seeing, this is once again, like I stated, why we need divine intervention. All right, Isaiah 59 and 19, it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. Where's the west? Here in America. What's making them fear the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai or Yahweh by Yahushai? Is the prophets. So everything that comes out of our mind is certified. Okay, it's literally certified. Okay, every prophecy that we've been saying is happening. Even the civil unrest. So people are going to realize there's power behind that name of Yahweh by Yahushai. I believe there was I forgot which incident was that I believe it was one of those, fake as terrorist attack on in the states, and then they had it Yahweh Shai up there and they put it as in the news like that's a terrorist. So they starting to fear the name of the Lord because of the prophets. This is why they're gonna come down hard on us. And his glory from the rising of the sun, which is the east. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So the enemy is gonna come in as a flood. He has a technology, he has a power on the left hand side. All right. Should he even have let's be real, he have spirits that's working for him. He got everything that can come against us. And all we have, not all we have, but and we got the greatest of it all. We got the source. And the hopeful elect is going to be protected by Yahweh Shai in that time. All right. Matter of fact, I said that. And then when you go into the word standard in the Hebrew, is the Hebrew word for nawas, which means to fly, horseback ridden, to hide. All right. So we're going to be like X-Men on the earth. All right. When you X-Men X is supposed to be unknown. Where we're known. All right, we're known in the that's why this is why it's gonna happen. Daniel's 12:1. It says, at that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. So Michael, which meaning Micah Allah, he is like the Most High. All right, the most mightiest of archangels is there, a war archangel. He's gonna stand up. Does he mean he's sitting down? Meaning he's going to intervene with events that's taking place. The Lord Yahweh is going to allow Esau to come down hard on brothers and a few sisters. All right. Why? Because that's the Lord's glory. All right. The Lord's glory is going to be coming in the clutch. When you read the scriptures, plenty of times, all right, the Lord has jumped into the scene to deliver his people. Matter of fact, I don't remember which specific chapter it was, because I haven't read it in a while. I'm thinking about the Maccabees. Let me see if I can find it. Slakia. First Maccabees, I'm gonna think is 6th chapter. I'm not too sure. Slakia, forgive me. I haven't read this particular verse in a long time. Type in angel. Let's see what pops up. Okay. It's not the one I was thinking of, but First Maccabees 7 and straight to the point now. Okay. First Maccabees 7 and 39. So Nasir went out of Jerusalem and pitched his tent in Beth Haran, where an host out of Syria met him. But Judas pinched an Adas with 3,000 men, and there he prayed, saying, "O Lord, when they that were sent from the king of Assyria blasphemy," and he had to what did he do? He went to the history. This is why it's good to know the scriptures. All right, that angel went out and smote 185,000 of them. So when you go into the history of, if I'm not mistaken, this is not when Elisha was alive, but I believe it was Jehoshaphat. I believe it was Jehoshaphat. If I'm mistaken, Salakia. and Jehoshaphat and the heads of Jerusalem at the time, because it said Jerusalem, right, had prayed. Now Jehoshaphat, which means Yahweh Shaphat, was a man of the Lord. The Lord wanted to kill him because he joined with Ahab, but the Lord forgave him. So the Lord sent forth the Assyrians, and then Jehoshaphat prayed. He prayed, and that all the heads of Jerusalem, and what ended up happening was 185,000. Oh, I'm sorry. That's another factor, because it was, I believe, yeah, I got the stories mixed up. That's the one where the Lord said He's gonna do something that He never did before, that they'll never see. And what ended up happening is it was Moab, Esau, and Ammon, and they end up killing one another. All right, so that was another case, Slakia. So I got my my history kind of messed up. Let me see what it says here. But overall, it proved that the Lord is with us. When the Lord, that proves right there. All right, and it says, even so, destroy thou the host before us this day, that the rest may know that he have spoken blasphemous against thy sanctuary, and judge thou him according to his wickedness. So the 30th day of the month of Adar, the host joined battle, but Nasir's host was discomforted, and he himself was first slain in the battle. Now when Nasir's host saw that he was slain, they cast away their weapons and fled. Then they pursued after them days' journey from Adus unto Gazer, and sounding an alarm from them after the trumpets. Whereupon they came forth out of all the towns of Judea, round about, and closed them in, so that they turning back upon them that pursued them, were all slain with the sword, and not one of them was left. But that's not the story I was looking for. I was looking for when the angels came down. 5 men came down and fought against thousands of I believe it was Assyrians. All right, for Israel, okay, for Judas and his men. So the history shows. Matter of fact, since I'm in that realm right now, let me get this real quick. I'll come back to Daniel's. Second Kings 6 and 9, and it says, Second Kings 6 and 8. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and such a place shall be my camp. So they sitting there plotting in a little dark room. This is very important, because this proves that we are those men. All right. And the men of the Most High sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. So was he there at the meeting, which is gonna? No, he wasn't. But the Spirit alerted him. See? So when the Spirit is on, when the Holy Spirit is with us, when the enemy is gonna come in, they might come in and we not even be there, because the Spirit is gonna alert us to flee that. And the Lord did that several times with his people. Okay? And it says, and the king of Israel sent to the place which a man of the Most High told him, and warned him of and save himself there, not once nor twice. So he several times. So he's like, don't go there, don't. And man followed what the destruction of the prophet was, that king, right? Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled, for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha the prophet that is in Israel telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in that bedchamber. Okay, so it doesn't matter what they plot, however they plot, whatever they got cooked in the books. The Lord, once the Lord is with his peoples, with his people, they can't do nothing. All right. And he says, and said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And I was told him, and it was told him, saying that, behold, he is doeth do then. Therefore sent he hither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early, he gone forth. Behold, and hosts compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. So no matter how Esau set up these smart cities, these technically these camps, these prison cities, no matter how they do it, they're still outnumbered and outgunned and outclassed. Because why? The angels of the Lord has come, like it says Psalms 34:7. The angels of the Lord compass around about them that fear the Lord. All right. So if you fear Yahweh Shai, you are the elect. The Lord is gonna. He done it in the past. Ecclesiastes, Sirach 2:10. It says, "Did the Lord ever forsaken them that believe in Him? No." Right. So this is a perfect scenario for us. Let the enemies keep counting up. They know all our personals. They know everything about us. They know our shows. They know everything. They can make us look like we're the worst people in the world. But the Lord knows. And the Lord, once the Lord stands up for us, it ain't no matter what anybody says. All right. That's why we don't look for approval of this world. We look for approval of Yahweh Shai. All right. It said, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open the eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So Elisha was protected by what? Armada of ships. That one prophet alone, how much more the rest of us? All right. So going back to Daniel's 12:1, it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation. That time of trouble is what? Jacob's trouble. And they set it up perfectly. They got everything installed. They got the contractors. Everything is ready. All right. So if they're ready, how much more them in heaven already? And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And that, what is that? The book of life. So when they come down with great wrath, like the scripture says, because they set up everything they have set up. They set up a snare and trap for us, and we always falling and tripping in that trap. But what they fail to realize, us falling into those traps, the Lord is going to protect us and deliver us. That's why we read the old scriptures about Daniel in the lion's den, the three holy children that was thrown into the furnace. It was thrown into dire situations, and every dire situation, it was always delivered out of their situations. All right. That's why we must come to that full understanding. So, hey, Esau does what he does best. This is his blessing. But with that blessing, he's going to counter his curse. And our curse that we've been dealing with all this time, we are now going to enter our blessing. All right, so with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.